This is News 6 Tonight.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to News 6 Tonight, the Monday edition. I could not wait for my weekend to end so I could be back here on a Monday, said no one ever. But I'm so happy to be here because we have a show that's unlike anything else you're going to find online right now, especially when you're talking about Florida stories, right? And it's Monday, and the news is already popping.
It's already going. Yeah, this is a show where there's no teleprompter. This is produced by us. We pick the stories and we decide what goes on.
And a couple of other people you don't see.
We have a technical genius named DJ who you'll see in a little bit.
Oh, wow. You've upgraded him to genius status
That's what
already.
We're going. He's like our genius bar
Okay, great,
over at Apple.
great.
So if you're joining us, I'm watching on Facebook right now. So is Gigi. We would love to take your questions. You'll see them up on the screen, or not even your questions, but your comments. Let us know who you are, where you're from, and we'd love to see you. Of course, the thing everybody's thinking about right now is the bitter cold that is headed our way.
My
if
gosh.
you have not been watching the weather people tell you what's about to happen.
I'm bitter.
You're always bitter. It could be the dead of summer and she's bitter. So we have this cold front that has hit us today.
Yeah.
Right? It's basically on top of us right now. It's going to get cold in the morning for the kids at the bus stop. And then Thursday we get
bam,
smacked. We're getting popped
that
right across
front.
the face. Now, it's not as bad. You've been watching on Buffalo. Let's take a look at Buffalo here, just so before we start feeling sorry for ourselves.
Cow. Okay.
This is
y'all.
what we call pure, unadulterated misery up there. It's super cold.
Oh my gosh. There's a car under that.
I got to say something.
Yeah, okay. DJ, put yourself up here.
Let's get into the action here.
This is where you worked here for 10 years, right?
I'd like to.
From there.
I'm born and raised Buffalo. I'm from there. Let me give you a play-by-play. First of all, this Bills flag is very important to the story.
Why? Because they lost?
No matter what, there's pride there. Because it's about all we got. This is the Bills.
All right, at least you have that.
But I mean, I looked at this. This is just the January day. There's nothing. This is just what we do.
But isn't it really cold there? Isn't it below zero or something?
It was over the weekend. Yeah, I think it was. We talked on Friday. It was like -4. It was gonna hit. So yeah, it is cold, but it's just like I said. It's normal. You see these people. This person doesn't even have gloves on or winter hat. It's
nothing to them. It just makes.
It's just normal.
I'm chilled to the bone just watching this video. No, seriously, on an average day, like I would call into work.
No, you wouldn't. We'd be working 24 hours a day if this were in our market
then I'm
right
working
now.
from home.
There you go. You could tune in on Zoom.
Crazy to me.
So this same system that is doing this nastiness to them is dipping all the way down to Florida. Now, over the weekend, if you watched your family members who are suffering, and then it was 87 degrees here, it was pretty wonderful.
Complaining about the heat.
We're not going to have to shovel anything.
I got to talk about that.
We're not going to have
too.
one of those.
Hang on.
What'd you say?
We got to talk about the heat also, because I was at Disney over the weekend, and I moved down here in November. This was the hottest weekend I think since I've been down here, and you want to talk about. Sometimes the snow's not too bad because I'm walking around Epcot, and I was just
so
sweating.
now you're complaining
I think
about
I got
the heat.
some sun. Yeah, I don't know if it's the light that was shining on me or something.
Sorry,
I got
you
some.
have a nice tan now, DJ.
I do got a little bit of
You're
tan.
going to
now.
need to get a base tan if you're going to live in Florida, my friend. So yeah, things are definitely.
So if you have people
up.
traveling here, or if you're coming from Buffalo to here, they said Boston Logan was shut down for a period of time. And I always think that people who live in places like that and are used to dealing with the snow, if they shut down and they can't handle it, the rest of us are doomed.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're talking about cold weather, not snow here, but in the 20s. In the 20s. I don't know how I fear for us. That's all I want to say. I fear for us.
All right. Are we done with the drama? I think we'll survive. Ginger.
Okay.
What else
We're
going to
move on to another story. We talked about this one last week, and we've been seeing a lot of school threats happening. And many of them have been deemed not credible, right? But this one was really credible. It happened at Lake Brantley, and this is the second time in a month that they've had something serious happen. They had a code red early January, right when they came back from school. Well, last week, it ended up with 2 students leaving the campus in handcuffs because of a note and a knife that they found. And we wanted to know what in the world is going on with this story that these 2, and we think there were 2 girls who were charged with
kind of feuding,
premeditated murder, I think, because of what was found in the backpack and in the note. Premeditated attempted murder. And so we sent our Catherine Silver to try and dig through the police report to see what she could dig up and find moving the story forward.
Word spread fast at Lake Brantley High School Friday, where this time Altamont Springs police found a weapon on campus.
One girl had the knife in the note, and then the other girl was called out of class because her name was mentioned, I guess, by the first girl.
We've been asking police and requesting records tied to the case. The only information they've confirmed so far is that 2 students were involved and 2 were arrested after a knife and a note was found in one of their bags.
What's your first thought as a parent? I mean, who's to say?
Just 2 weeks ago, we were talking to parents in Seminole County about a viral video circulating amongst students without mentioning any specific location. The same week, a threat by phone at Lake Brantley was determined to be a hoax. Our News 6 team has been speaking to law enforcement about the impact of school threats, real or not. Both have real consequences.
They think it's funny. It's not funny at all.
Yeah, now, again, the names of these students have not been released. And as soon as we get that report from police, of course, we will keep you updated because we want to know what's in that note, what that note said that made this charge really a tougher than what we would normally see.
Yeah, it's a strange charge with the attempted murder because
premeditated.
That makes you think that maybe there's something in that note more than, because if you had a knife and then you thought you wanted to do something, that doesn't feel like a charge of attempted premeditated.
Well, they know more than we do.
They do.
That's
yes,
what we're trying to find out.
That's the curious part that I would like to see that note at some point. All right. Well, I did a story last year. It was late last year about handicap accessible parking. How it was basically going to be eaten away at because the legislature.
I remember this.
Made it so that pregnant women can apply and pretty easily get a disabled permit for like $15. So handicapped folks are like, listen, we already can't find parking. It's a real issue. And then, so I did that story. It aired, got a big response from people. People reached out to me. And one woman reached out to me. She's a disabled veteran. She told me the story about how going to MCO, our airport, is the most stressful part of travel. And she travels a lot. She's a travel vlogger. So let's take a look at her story as she talks about how she eventually gets towed, her handicap van towed from the airport. Longmire scoured every deck in the parking garage.
The adventure continues.
All right. Until she made it to the very top. All the disabled spaces were spoken for. She had to park across 2 regular spots so her ramp could extend. It's a familiar feeling. Last November, Longmire paid $160 to park in the reserve section at MCO. Again, the accessible spots were taken. As usual, she parked across the 2 spots at the end.
And I returned to find that my van was not where I left it.
The van with a clear disabled veteran license plate was gone. The airport had it towed.
And I'm getting taken to an accessible shuttle that's going to take me to the impound lot to get my van.
3 hours and $50 later, she was able to head home. We reached out to MCO for comment. They sent us this response. We have already instructed parking staff to be more vigilant in recognizing vehicles that display a disabled license plate when they occupy multiple spaces. Unfortunately, the vehicle's plate was inadvertently overlooked.
I'm inadvertently overlooked almost on a daily basis as a wheelchair user, and I am not alone in that. So yeah, that is the core of the issue, isn't it?
That broke my heart to hear that she feels that way. Let me say something. She's a baddie, all right? Like she does.
Oh my gosh.
To be able, I would be scared to go to Shanghai by myself or New Zealand. She's done all that. She's planning a trip to Antarctica, which I know you did, and I might give her your number because.
Please do. I would love to meet. Honestly, someone who travels the world like that, she could be my new bestie. But I mean, I'm not disabled. And those places are challenging to navigate.
It's intimidating.
They're all,
But she has no fear. She goes out and she does it, and then she makes it accessible. Spin the Globe is her tag or her title on YouTube if you want to check her out. She does some really good content. But as far as the airport is concerned, I showed you what they told us in response, which she was not very happy with that response, because she always feels inadvertently overlooked. That's what I ended up naming the story. Yeah. But they also say things should get better. In 2027, they're going to add, they have this parking guidance system. It should help everybody. You know how when you go to Disney Springs or something like that.
Tells you how many spots are available.
Well, it's also going to tell you how many handicap spots are on each level.
Great.
So hopefully that'll save her some time, but they're not really adding a ton of handicap spots. I think they probably will because you have to federally. But so hopefully that makes things better. But again, that happens in 2027.
She's traveling this year, so she needs those spots
a lot
now. Exactly. Well, great job. And what a wonderful person to tell that story through.
She was, we get story ideas and we'll be excited about the story idea. And then you go and you meet the person and you're like, okay, this story is way more interesting than I thought because I have an amazing person to help tell it.
It always helps. Okay. Something we're always interested in. Talking about HOAs. Mm-hmm. I do not.
You don't have an HOA, right?
And that's intentional.
You don't like HOAs?
I've told you my HOA story when I lived in DC, so I don't even.
She won't even go into that.
Okay, but that's something that's very interesting to people. You guys online, you're chiming in a lot about it. We'd like to see what you're looking at on clickorlando.com. And this is all coming up because a state representative from Miami filed a bill to reform HOAs, calling them a failed experiment. He's putting forth a bill pointed at HOAs.
What HOA board member peed in his Cheerios?
Community associations. It's headlined by allowing for the dissolution of HOAs under select situations, and signatures of at least 20% of HOA voting members would warrant a vote. 2/3 of voting interest would have to approve termination plan. You could still have an HOA if you want to, but if you don't, but you guys had a lot to say about this. And Kelly says HOAs have become too powerful and people are already having to pay their mortgages, so they should just let people live. I agree with Kelly. And someone else said that she wants her HOA to stay since they do the dirty work of getting our neighbors who make poor decisions, and everyone should choose what they're willing to put up with. Your HOA, I've heard you talk about.
Oh, my HOA is aggressive. They are a little over the top. I had a little jasmine growing up my gutter, which I liked.
Not a plant.
I love the smell,
yes.
and I thought it looked nice.
You love the smell of jasmine in the morning?
I do. Get that jasmine off your gutter, or we're going to put a lien on your house, like crazy stuff like that. But I will say it's also not, our neighbors don't always make the best decisions.
Listen, okay.
They just
that's
don't.
True.
So
that's
it's
true.
nice to have somebody else.
Don't put your car up on blocks in the front yard. There.
Don't want to see it. I don't want to see your pink door.
Okay, but I have an HOA story for you, and I'm going to tell it quickly. When I lived in the Virginia area, it's Sterling, Virginia, McLean, Virginia, actually.
You said quick story. You haven't even gotten to the location yet. Go, I want to hear it.
We stained our deck, and these are new townhomes. We stained it. It's the color of everyone else. It's just a little shinier.
Right.
Come home from work one day, there's a violation notice, like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And then the following day, the deck was torn down.
The next day,
and a new one was put up because you can't stain your deck. How much money did that cost? That's crazy. I was like,
did they send you a bill to charge?
No, because all my neighbors had to pay for it too, and I'm sure they weren't happy about it. That's
wow.
Never again.
That is crazy. No more HOAs for you, huh?
No.
Yeah.
Never.
I wouldn't mind being out from under the.
There's my quick story, Matt. Move it along.
HOA. All right. Let's talk about a smoky scene in Brevard County. All right. If you're trying to drink and drive, this guy.
Please don't.
It's probably a good idea not to draw attention to yourself. All right. This guy, his car.
How would you do that?
Maybe not drive around with a car that's actually on fire. That's what was happening. Let me show you the burned out car. I think we have a picture of this.
Wow.
This was a bad scene. So he's driving down the road. Car is literally on fire. That's why the police were called. He pulls over. It's so on fire that it starts a brush fire on the side of the road.
Okay.
Here's our guy here. This was Brevard County.
He wasn't drinking beer, but that's something else.
Then they had the bottles out there. His wife was in the car, by the way, and he wasn't even that keen on pulling her out as the car was on fire. So fire officials say when the driver, that's Patrick Rinaldi, stopped, again, it started that brush fire. Sheriff Ivey said that callers were saying that this guy had pulled over, saw that it was on fire, still tried to get back in and drive away. He was arrested, booked on DUI. He's now being held on a $5,500 bond. Wouldn't surprise me if he's already out. But what a crazy situation where you're actually so inebriated, allegedly.
You don't know your car is flaming.
Car is on fire while you're driving.
And you're not the only one in it, and you don't try to save the person in the car. I don't care if it's not your spouse. It could be anybody else, but save the person that's in your burning car. Yeah. My Lord, that's the least you can do.
But she didn't do anything, so she didn't get booked into jail like he did. Obviously, he was driving. He's accused of driving drunk. There'll still be.
I mean, if he's already out, do you think she's the one who bonded him out?
I don't know. I don't know that he's out. I'm just saying $5,500. It's pretty easy to get out at that point.
That dinner's going to be awkward. That conversation's like, so honey, did you ever think to, open my door?
Yeah, maybe let me out of the burning car.
Okay. Here's another story. And I'm glad this particular car was not on fire because we'd have a community.
We'd all be high.
FHP troopers.
That's a good
That's a good transition there. Okay. So they stopped a rental truck last week that a guy didn't stop fully at a stop sign turning red. This is why you got to obey all the rules. And they pulled him over, and it's a rental box truck. And when they opened the back, would you like to know what they found?
Please tell me how much weed they
Oh
found.
my gosh. 194 vacuum sealed packs of marijuana. Vacuum sealed.
These were professionally sealed. My favorite part of the story is when they pulled him over, they didn't just ask, can we see what's in the back? The guy sprints away. He pulls over, opens his door, and just starts running, which is a dead giveaway that, hey, maybe we should take a look inside this truck.
I mean, it was a rental. So what if he rented it and that just happened to be in the back? I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Like a full pallet of weed.
That is insane. So we have the mugshot for the guy, and just there he is. It's Hamza Qureshi, accused of having that 194 pounds of marijuana in the back of that rented box truck, which I can't even imagine what the cops the FHP who pulled him over were thinking. It's like, what were you thinking and what were you doing?
Right, but where
were you going?
If you just acted like, oh, whoops, I'm sorry, I ran through I turned right on red without fully stopping, and then you got your ticket, but they're not usually going to search your rental car.
No, I feel like if you are doing something that you shouldn't be doing, aren't you acting a little sus?
Guilty conscience, yeah.
Like, I can't. Listen, don't get me to try and lie.
Do you remember the people at the Coldplay concert who were snuggling up if they had just played along with it?
Remind me again about this story. Do you remember?
The affair that was happening in that story.
Alleged affair.
Or just the blossoming of a possible affair.
They were coworkers, I think.
Yeah.
And while we also are coworkers.
Right.
No.
What are you trying to say?
I'm not saying anything.
We're friends,
saying anything.
guys.
I just don't understand. That's another story. Why did you get us on that tangent?
I was just saying, if they had played it off like they were supposed to be together, no one would have ever known. If this guy had just taken his ticket and not sprinted away, he probably would have never been.
I mean, how else are you going to run from cops if you don't start sprinting?
It's
a good question. It's a good one.
Hey, this has been fun. We also, so if you want to stick with Channel 6, we are going to have tons of coverage on the cold weather that is headed our way.
And more importantly, they have cold weather shelters that are opening up, I believe, starting tonight, because some of the real cold air starts on Thursday. And Jonathan Kegas is saying Sunday, we probably have not seen temperatures this cold since 2010. And we were talking about this at our afternoon editorial meeting, saying that there was a span of days, if not weeks, in Florida where it was so cold. Remember our boss was saying her dog had to wear a coat?
Yes.
For many days.
Which made me judge her. But yeah, I mean, how did these creatures survive before us?
It's a greyhound, and they are all muscle.
Yeah, they have low body fat, she says.
So the dog gets really cold.
Yeah.
So
she's the boss, so she can do whatever she wants.
No. But what I'm saying is that more than a week ago, Jonathan Kegas warned us that this was coming. So if you want accuracy with your forecast, because I get tired of people saying, you know what happens when you do weather? It must be nice having a job, but you could be wrong half the time. These guys are right more often than not.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Mm-hmm. And so that's important, especially when it comes to weather like this, because you have to get ready. You can't have it surprise you. And you're not getting surprised with our guys.
This is
true.
I
just want to name them. Jonathan Kegas, Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos, Meteorologist Julie Broughton. They're all phenomenal.
They are. I agree.
Wow. You're a little public service quiet right now, Matt.
I think our weather people
I would like
are
to
the
know
best.
who your favorite meteorologist at News 6 is.
Right. I like how you put the at News 6 is. I do think we have the best meteorologists.
do.
You should check them out tonight. They'll guide you through just how cold it's going to be in the morning, as well as Thursday, which is going to be the real pop in the mouth. Thank you so much for watching News 6 tonight. We appreciate you. We hope you have a great evening.
More news headed your way at 10 and 11. Bye.